All right, royal watchers, grab your tea, hide your pearls and secure your fascinators because the royal drama train has left the station and it is running on pure chaos today. Just when you thought things were finally calming down, the royal rumor mill said absolutely not and cranked the dial all the way up to 11. We've got headlines flying, commentators spiraling, social media detectives working overtime, and enough speculation to power an entire kingdom. So buckle up because today's royal drama is serving twists, turns, side eyes, and a fresh batch of confusion hotter than a palace kettle at tea time. Let's get into it. The UK media is at it again with the absolute circus acts. I just saw this headline from GB News quoting royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams, and honestly, who even gives these guys their titles? He's out here claiming Prince William feels deeply betrayed and probably won't meet up with Harry and Meghan next month. Like, betrayed? For what exactly, Willie? For your brother moving across the ocean, getting his bag and protecting his peace? Give me a break. Let's be real for a second. The British press is just desperate for drama because without it, they've got nothing to write about. It's pure fiction. They're treating this whole thing like a reality TV soap opera when it's just a regular messed up family feud. Except regular people don't have a bunch of stuffy tabloids tracking their every move and making up narratives for clicks. If you ask me, Harry and Meghan are doing exactly what they need to do. And frankly, I don't blame Meghan for keeping herself and the kids far away from the UK. With the way the media primes the public to hate on them, it doesn't even feel safe over there for her or the little ones. Why fly into a hornet's nest just to satisfy some weird royal protocol? Harry's out there living his life, supporting his wife and being a dad, while the British press is stuck in the mud crying over spilled tea. It's exhausting, it's petty, and honestly, it's just embarrassing at this point. Let them live. Okay, can we just talk about how ridiculous this whole thing has become? Because from where regular people are sitting, this doesn't even look like royal business anymore. It looks like that one family member who swears they're unbothered, but somehow can't stop talking about the person they're supposedly done with. Every single time Harry and Meghan's names pop up, somebody somewhere starts acting like a fire alarm just went off. And now the latest drama, maybe Harry wants to bring Meghan and the kids to Britain. That's it. That's the crime. That's apparently the earth-shattering event that's got certain people clutching their pearls like the kingdom is under attack. Meanwhile, normal parents are looking at this whole situation and going, wait, a dad wants his children to see where he grew up? Isn't that what families do? Seriously, the way some of these stories are being pushed, you'd think Harry announced he was arriving on a dragon and taking over Buckingham Palace. But no, he wants security for his wife and children. That's called being a husband and a father. Imagine getting angry because a man wants his family to be safe. Could not be me. And here's the part that's making people laugh. Why does every headline suddenly sound like we're supposed to be devastated about whether William wants to show up or not? William won't attend. Okay. William is furious. Okay. William is upset. Okay. The rest of the world is trying to pay rent, buy groceries, survive inflation, and figure out why eggs cost what they cost. Nobody is waking up at 6 a.m. wondering whether Prince William is in a mood today. The funniest part is watching grown adults treat every family disagreement like it's the final battle scene in a superhero movie. Relax. It's a family. Families argue. Families fall out. Families make up. Families don't make up. That's life. But the idea that everybody else has to rearrange their existence because one person is unhappy, that's where people start rolling their eyes. And let's talk about Harry and Meghan for a second. These two could literally announce they're adopting a puppy, and somehow there'd be 17 articles claiming it's a strategic attack on the monarchy. A puppy. A strategic attack. You know that's how wild this has gotten. What regular people are seeing isn't some grand royal chess match. They're seeing a couple raising their kids. They're seeing parents trying to make family memories. They're seeing grandparents wanting to see grandkids. That's it. That's the whole thing. The public isn't confused. The public isn't losing sleep. Most people are looking at this circus and thinking, can somebody please act their age? Because at some point, all the dramatic headlines stop looking powerful and start looking exhausting. And the more noise there is, the more Harry and Meghan end up looking like the only people focused on the actual children involved. Funny how that works. At the end of the day, little Archie and Lilibet deserve to know their family history. They deserve to see the country their father comes from. They deserve to make memories without becoming the center of another media meltdown. That's what regular people understand. Everything else, just another episode of Royal Family, the never-ending drama season 97. And trust me, the audience is getting tired of the same storyline. You know what cracks me up about this whole story? The way some of these headlines are acting, you'd think Harry and Meghan announced they were returning to the UK with a marching band, fireworks, and a giant banner saying, "We're taking over." They didn't. They're just visiting. That's it. Yet somehow the media has managed to turn a family visit into what sounds like the plot of an action movie. First, it was William won't meet Harry. Then it became William is furious. Then William is appalled. Then William is raging. At this rate, next week's headline is going to be William spotted screaming at a toaster. Slow down, people. Take a sip of tea, breathe, because regular folks watching this are probably thinking the same thing. Why is this being treated like a national emergency? Seriously, most families have that one relative they don't get along with. You know the one, the person who says they're done with the drama right before spending the next 3 hours talking about it. That's exactly what this situation is starting to look like. The funniest part, nobody's forcing anybody to hang out. If William doesn't want to meet Harry, fine. If he doesn't want dinner, lunch, coffee, or a game of Monopoly, that's his choice. Problem solved, case closed. But the media keeps serving these stories like we're all supposed to be shocked. Breaking news, two brothers who haven't gotten along for years still aren't getting along. Wow, what a twist. Call Netflix immediately. And let's talk about King Charles for a second. According to these reports, the king is willing to welcome his son and grandchildren back to Britain. Most grandparents hearing that would say, good, bring the kids. End of conversation, done. But somehow this gets spun into palace warfare, secret battles, emotional earthquakes, and enough drama to fill 12 seasons of reality TV. The average person is sitting there wondering why grown adults can't just act like grown adults. Because here's what normal people see. They see Harry wanting his children to spend time in the country where he grew up. They see parents trying to make family memories. They see grandparents wanting to see grandkids. That's the bit regular people understand. Everything else, just a giant group project in overreacting. And honestly, the more dramatic headlines keep flying around, the worse they make everyone involved look. Because nothing says confidence quite like having a public meltdown over somebody booking a trip. At some point, you've got to laugh. The media is treating this visit like it's the royal version of Avengers Endgame. Meanwhile, most people are just trying to figure out what's for dinner. That's why so many people are rolling their eyes at this entire saga, but because they're tired of every family disagreement being presented as if civilization itself is hanging by a thread. Harry and Meghan visiting Britain shouldn't feel like the trailer for a disaster movie. It's a family visit. The sun will still rise, the birds will still sing, the tea will still be hot, and somehow, someway, everybody will survive. You know what's funny about this whole saga? It looks like someone is still arguing over a decision that's already been made. The train has left the station. It's gone. King Charles is the king right now. If he says Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lilibet are welcome to visit, that's the decision. End of story. Done. Yet every day there's a new headline. Somebody's furious. Somebody's outraged. Somebody's devastated. At this point, I'm expecting reports of dramatic sighing echoing through palace hallways. Regular people are looking at this and asking one simple question. Why, if the decision has already been made, what's all the fuss about? Because that's what adults do. You don't have to like every decision, but eventually you accept it and move on. You don't spend months acting like your Wi-Fi got cut off. And here's what people are noticing. The louder the complaints get, the less powerful they sound. If you're truly in control, you don't need endless headlines announcing how angry you are. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan can't seem to do anything without controversy. They stay away, problem. They visit, problem. They breathe, somehow that's a problem too.
Most people see a father wanting his children to know their family roots and a grandfather wanting to see his grandkids. That makes sense. The endless outrage? Not so much. In fact, all the dramatic headlines often end up helping Harry and Meghan because ordinary people start asking, wait, we're this upset over a family visit? From the cheap seats, this doesn't look like a crisis. It looks like somebody struggling to accept that the final call wasn't theirs to make. All right, folks, that's the tea for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the royal chaos, the laughs, and the drama breakdowns, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and join our growing community. I'm your host, Miles, and remember, the royal drama may pause, but it never truly ends. Until next time, stay safe, stay laughing, and keep that tea hot.